I'm Steve Bahacek with Organic Choice Milk Procurement. Organic Choice is just about 7 years old, and when we started, we had more than 19 different markets that were available to us to sell our milk. Times were good, and we had actually up to a 3-week waiting list of buyers and processors that wanted to buy our milk. And we were getting good prices for our milk, certainly a lot more than we are getting today. Nobody was complaining. Farmers weren't complaining, processors weren't complaining, stores weren't complaining, consumers weren't complaining. Everybody was saying more, more, more. Today, we have two processors that are buying from us, and of course, everyone's saying, you know, too much milk, too much milk, too much milk. 4 years ago, I and some other people here today, we went to Washington, D.C., and we testified to encourage them to get a pasture rule, regulation passed. And if that would have happened, you know, we wouldn't be here today. You know, that was 4 years ago. Now we have another administration. I hope, you know, we aren't going to have another 4 years for the next administration. This has to work right now with this administration. There's going to be a symbolic milk dumping later today, and in my eyes, it's being a lot more than milk that's being dumped. There's literally the blood, sweat, and tears of the farmers that are here today. We have the best group of farmers, not in our country here today, but in my eyes, in the absolute world, because they're so caring and passionate about, you know, being true stewards of the land, God's creation, and that's really what it's about. You know, we have the highest health care costs in the whole entire world, over $6,000 per capita, and yet we're 37th on the list as far as how healthy people really are. You know, we need to encourage more of what's going on here with the healthy organic farming by the small family farms. They're not going to get it from these large CAFCOs. The other thing I want to bring up is that after World War II in 1948, the government installed parity for 5 years. The country, and it's the only time in the history of this country that they had a balanced budget. And just think about that. The farmers got paid what they needed. The processors did all right, the stores did all right, and the consumers did all right. It worked back then. Why can't it work now? And now the government is ready to install a great big universal health care package. And what are they going to spend? $1 trillion on it, or billions, or whatever? Let's get back to the real basics. Our bodies are organic. They don't identify anything else that is not organic. So if we don't educate people and we keep actually eating this crap, we're just going to be sicker and sicker and sicker. And how much is that? How much is that universal health care package going to cost us? And then, of course, we've got the whole GMO thing that's coming in. You know, these aren't meant for us to eat. And it's actually, believe it or not, it's actually in the Bible. And that's where I want to close, is that, you know, this has all been predestined. Isaiah chapter 17, verses 10 and 11, it says, "For you have forgotten the God of your salvation, and have not remembered the rock of your refuge. Therefore you plant delightful plants, and set them with vine slips of a strange God. In the day that you plant it, you carefully fence it in." I wish they would have with their pollen. "In the morning you bring your seed to blossom, but the harvest will be a heap in the day of sickliness and incurable pain." Are we there yet with all of the epidemic and pandemic flus that they're talking about?
My name is Pete Harden. I edit and publish the Milkweed newspaper. There are a few familiar faces. Copies are back there. The information which I'm going to refer to is printed in the July issue back there.
I'm going to, in deference to the fact that Senator Vilsack has come, I'm going to, Secretary, Senator, just giving you a promotion, or is that a promotion? Thank you, Peter. I'm going to change the order of speakers just a little bit, because I want to make sure that the Secretary has an opportunity to hear some first-hand testimony from dairy producers. So next, Bruce Brinkman, can you come up, please? And Wisconsin dairy producer. And Peter, don't go away. We'll have your presentation. On deck, Darlene, would you be next, please?
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming today. I think it's a crisis time. We need to face that. And thank you, Secretary Vilsack. Biggest reason I'm here, some of you may or may not be aware by now, I was one of the first to get caught in this downturn, somewhat through some of my own management, but mostly through weather-related things. My wife cashed in the last of our IRA savings this year so we could function another year on the farm. I'm 46 years old. I'm basically the fourth generation in that location, and I see no future for my children there. Don't they deserve a future at that location? And quite honestly, I wonder what the hell does the future bring for our country as far as food? None of, once our generation is gone, who will provide food for this country? And it's more than just about me. I've been on too many conference calls lately where I hear people, New York, California, all over this country, they're literally starving to death. And along with that, all of the local stores are going down. The grocery stores are closing, the hardware stores are closing, the feed mill closes, the machinery dealer closes. My God, if we don't get a handle on this soon, there'll be nothing left of this country. It's going to take us down from the bottom, and it's just a big whirlpool sucking us all in. And there's no reason for this. The big processors in particular, they've talked about record profits. What do we have to show for it? We get 7 days of hard work, and they come back. And if we're lucky, we scrape together 2 pennies for groceries at the end of the month. We deserve better than this. And I do think the only way that we're ever going to get out of this is if we all stand together. We have to do it, and it has to be done now. And as far as being a family farmer, yes, I'm a family farmer. I've got 50 cows. And I implore Secretary Vilsack to do what he can to get a handle on this now. Not tomorrow, not next month like I keep hearing. It's got to be done today. Tomorrow is too late. And along with that, I look at a lot of the comments here in regards to administration. I think the one party that tends to get overlooked way too much in all of this is our congressional people. They're supposed to be watching out for our interests, watching the executive branch, this, that, and the other thing. They don't do it. None of them have stepped up to the plate. They're all worried about Bank of America, the bailouts for GM, Chrysler, everybody else. Don't they give a damn where their food comes from? And I guess, that's really about all I have to say, except for we have to do it now. Tomorrow isn't an option anymore. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Bruce. Darlene, are you ready? Okay, we're going to have one more farmer, and then we're going to have Secretary Vilsack say a few words. Again, we wanted to emphasize, you missed the intro, but this is not a protest. You inherited a mess. What we're really trying to impress upon you today is the sense of immediacy that people's livelihoods are at stake that won't be in business just a few months from now. We really need your help. Please. Darlene Kuhnhorn from the Midwest Organic Dairy Producers Alliance and Dairy Producers.
Yeah, believe it or not, I did milk my own cows this morning.